we had somebody the other day that said they didn't like the grind in No Man's Sky, and I kind of had to take a step back and go, well, what grind are you talking about? Because if you don't like the harvesting side of things, or you don't want to go out there and find the materials that are required to build your mods, to build your starships, to build your base, you could literally turn those elements off, because you could go into creative mode and say, let me land before I open up that menu really quick. But I look at that and I'm like, what grind? Oh, well, like the resource grind. I gotta grind for resources. I gotta grind credits, and all these other things. And I'm like, you don't have to though, because as we're gonna show here in a second, once I land, you can literally go into the difficulty options. I'm on normal mode, right? That's the normal default setting, which has a light survival element to it. But you can also go in here and adjust every single little thing. Do you not want to deal with survival elements? Turn them off. What do you want? Standard resources, or do you want abundant resources, or do you want the resources to be more scarce? Do you want your damage levels to be? Do you want your fuel usage to be free so that it doesn't cost anything? That's why you can go in here and go to creative mode and look at that. It no longer costs anything to craft. You don't use any fuel when you fly. You don't have to spend any money on purchases. There is no grind in this game if you don't want there to be any grind. Or if you want to go hardcore, guess what? You could go turn it on survival mode. And now it makes things super challenging. And so you get out of No Man's Sky exactly what you want to get out of No Man's Sky. If you're going to play this game legitimately, if you're going to play it for real, you get to set exactly what type of experience you're going to have in No Man's Sky. And yes, exactly, we should be celebrating the differences in games rather than the similarities. A lot of people have lost that along the way. Because, yeah, it does. I will always come back to that. Comparison is the thief of joy. There can be similarities between games, but I don't want my games to be carbon copies of each other. So the conversation earlier about, is this like Dune Awakening? Similarities. But also, I could look at Minecraft and say this game is more similar to Minecraft than it is to Dune Awakening. Because I can go into creative mode, and I can, that's something that not a lot of crafting survival games offer, is that creative mode. Enshrouded is another great example of a game that has sort of a crafting base building element that it shares with No Man's Sky, that it shares with Minecraft, that it shares with Dune Awakening, but then Enshrouded does their own thing, where you can adjust the difficulty levels, and you can adjust you can have a creative setting, a creative mode in that game as well. Plus, that game has like an RPG skill tree, whereas Dune Awakening also, as an example, has that archetype class system where you can choose your skills and abilities from the archetypes. And then there's this game does have weapon gameplay, but it's completely different to the weapon gameplay of Dune Awakening, which is more similar to the Division 2 than it is to anything else. So, anyway, the grind thing, in terms of the grind aspect, this game has so many customizable difficulties and things you could tweak that if you don't like a certain aspect of the game, but you do like other things, tweak the things that you don't like and focus on what you do like, and you'll find more enjoyment out of it. Yeah, when Starfield added the survival mode, James MC, I was a big fan of that update, because it allowed us to further tweak the settings and give us exactly the experience that we wanted in Starfield. So, I turned on, I wanted food and drink stuff, but I didn't want to deal with ammo weight, so I turned the ammo weight off, as an example. So that's a perfect example of, and something else I've done a lot in this game is I don't like the fishing. I don't like the fishing in this game. I don't like the manual fishing. So I haven't done any fishing on this character, but one thing I will always do when I decide to go, if I have to do fishing for quests, is I will turn the auto catch option on so that I don't have to deal with the grind of manually fishing in this game, because I'm just not a fan of that mini game because it gets very repetitive after you've cast the line like 5 or 10 times. So perfect example of, you know, the grind is what you want it to be. You fully control your experience in No Man's Sky.